I want to show you how you can set up a video recording system similar to major YouTubers like Meet Kevin and Nick Nimmin so that you can easily create videos and release them very fast for less than $1,200. I'm going to show you how this was all built and all that you need to build this in a room similar to what I'm in, which is only an 8 by 10 foot room. And don't worry, I have all of the links to everything in this video, as well as all the software that you'll need in the description below this video that you can look at right after you've watched this. And while you're down there, there will also be a thumbs up button, and if you wouldn't mind tapping that, it would mean a lot to me. So let's get started. To start off, let's talk about the camera I'm using in this video and a few reasons why I chose this camera. I'm using the Cannon T7i, and I've been using Canon for many years. And while I do have a few things that upset me with this camera, I definitely have a lot more things that I really love. First, this camera has excellent autofocus while shooting video. Next, this camera supports STM lenses, which means it will be extremely quiet while autofocusing. Third, this camera has support for clean video out, which is so important because of the fact that you don't want the information that's on the screen to be showing up on your recording. Now, of course, this wouldn't matter if we were just doing regular recording on a camera. One downfall that I have been able to fix in post-production, as well as using cameras, features, and such, you don't have complete control over white balance. To fully understand white balance and how cameras use this, it just doesn't fit into this video. So here's a quick properly white balance footage versus non-white balance footage. If you're interested in a video about the more technical controls of the camera, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make future videos about them if people are interested. Next, I have a few things connected to my camera. First, I have this remote control that plugs into the remote control slot on the T7i, which allows me to simply push this button if my camera's autofocus is not working the way that I want it to. Also, if I want to make sure that the camera keeps focus held on a certain point, I can simply just hold the button down, and the best part is the viewer will have no idea that I'm even holding down the button. Next, I have this micro USB cable that's connected into my camera and then connected to a 20-foot USB extension that plugs into my computer that is behind me here. You might not need a 20-foot extension, but in general, as long as you're keeping your cords tidy, I like the idea of having a little wiggle room. I also have a dummy battery that is plugged into my camera so that I can simply not have to worry about charging and changing out batteries. Remember, the goal of this studio setup is that you can simply sit down in front of your camera, film a video, and then edit and publish it seamlessly. Also, I didn't mention it earlier, but this setup could also be used to live stream, but that will be talked about later in this video. Next, I'm using the Tenor Q9 microphone that I have clamped onto this table. I'm also using another 20-foot extension cable to connect it to my computer as well. Now, there are two more parts that are optional in this setup, but I personally think that they are super important. The first being the Padcaster Parrot Teleprompter version 2, which I have attached to this small TCL A1, which is an Android track phone that I'm using because it's a budget Android device. On the phone, I've downloaded the Parrot Teleprompter app, and I'm controlling it with a Bluetooth Logitech K480 because the remote control that it ships with the teleprompter is loud. Listen to the sound of me clicking this button compared to me pressing a key on the keyboard. Now, you've probably noticed at this point, I also have 5 monitors, which is super excessive and could be done in many different fashions. But once again, I wanted to have this set up so that I'd just be able to sit down and start filming. So I'm using the Samsung monitor that is using a 20-foot VGA cable and is connected to my computer using a VGA to USB converter. This could also be done using a laptop or not using 4 monitors in your background. My computer's graphic card only supports 4 monitors. However, by using the VGA to USB converter, I can now see myself while I'm recording, and also I like the look of 4 monitors. Which leads us right into the next part of this video, the software that I'm using. I'm doing all of this on a Windows 10 computer that I built, which has a GTX 1060 graphics card and an Intel 7th Gen i7
CPU.
I'm also using an NVMe drive. However, all of these programs could be used on an Apple PC as well. And I'm going to be showing everything for examples on Windows 10. To start off, I'm using Sparko Cam to essentially turn my Cannon T7i into a webcam. There are many ways that this also could be done for free using the Canon utility software or using the new webcam software that Canon has released. However, as of recording this video, Sparko Cam is much easier to set up and will make for much less headaches in the future. If you tried these other workarounds, they'll probably just end up making you upset and make you wonder why you didn't start with Sparko Cam to begin with. I also could set this up with a cam link or HDMI to USB tool, but honestly it would have similar issues and it would end up costing more and it just wouldn't be as good of a setup. Next, I have the free software called OBS, or Open Broadcaster Software, which is honestly very similar to a program that you would see used at major news stations to cover the news, as well as switch between anchors. In the software, I have to add the microphone as well as the camera. Here, I'm just doing this quickly. If you are interested in how to use this program, leave a comment down below letting me know that would be interesting to you. After you have set up all of this, you can now simply hit the record button and you are now recording your video directly to your computer. Also, OBS does have the ability to be used for Facebook Live and YouTube Live, so you could use this program and everything that we've set up to live stream. Also, using a free add-on to OBS called Virtual Webcam, you can use your setup on almost any live streaming system I could think of. But again, that would be out of the scope of this video, and if that's something that you're interested in, please let me know in the comments. Next, we have the editing process. I personally am a major fanboy of Adobe, and have been since I got into the media world about 13 years ago. There are a lot of other editing programs, however, for this video, I want to show why using these are very professional. The 4 Adobe programs that I'm going to be using are Premiere, Audition, Photoshop, and Media Encoder, which all except for the last one could be replaced with free programs such as iMovie, Audacity, and GIMP, respectively. However, honestly, Media Encoder is not needed. It just speeds up the process and would not be needed if you use these free alternatives. Next, the first thing that I do is import my footage into Premiere. From there, I can create what is called the timeline, and then I will add clips to that timeline. After that, I'll take my audio and bring it into Audition by right-clicking and hitting Edit Clip in Audition. I will use tools to remove background white noise as well as different audio filters to make my voice sound better. Here's a quick comparison of these small changes and how your audio sounds much more professional. Here's a quick comparison of these small changes and how your audio sounds much more professional. Here's a quick comparison of these small changes and how your audio sounds much more professional. Finally, if there are any images I need to add into the video or any still B-roll, I will do this in Photoshop and then import them into my timeline. Normally, I'll also export a frame from the video that can be used as my thumbnail for the future. Finally, the video is ready to be exported and published. I will use Media Encoder to export and compress my footage. I like to use the built-in YouTube settings when exporting, with a small change to tell the program to save in a slightly higher quality. After Media Encoder is finished, it's now time to upload the video to YouTube. So, that's how you could set up your own super effective video recording system for less than $1,200. I really hope that this video helped you out. I've been spending the last few months building this and testing it along the way to make sure that it's the most convenient setup. If this video did help you out by any means, it would mean a lot to me if you just hit that like button below this video. And if you're interested in any future videos that I mentioned, please make sure to subscribe by hitting this button down below. This isn't a monetary subscription or anything, it's just simply will help YouTube let you know when I have a new video out. Thanks for watching and keep making great things.